Welcome to Z True Tales.
In ancient times there lived a glorious kingdom called Neuralia, which King Solomon and Queen Jaria ruled with mercy and justice. Allah blessed them with 7 daughters and 7 twin princes with them. Each sister and her brother are perfect shadows of each other, living examples of beauty and harmony. But over time, a bitterness began to grow in the king's heart. He called princes his heirs and became careless with princesses. The queen repeatedly explained to him that daughters were also heirs of the same blood, but the hardness of the king's heart did not melt, until one day he ordered his own daughters to be imprisoned. The princesses were brought out of the palace in fear. The queen stood far away, crying continuously, and the princesses looked back and forth helplessly, while she was unable to do anything. As soon as the princesses had gone out the door, suddenly the sky burst, a storm roared, and at that moment a terrible witch, Morgara, appears. Morgara, Solomon's old and dangerous enemy, emerged from the storm and spoke in a thunderous voice. "Just as you imprisoned my children and handed them over to death, today I will take away your happiness from you. You wanted to get rid of your daughters. Now these daughters will always be with you, as a reminder of your torment. And your prince, he will now be my prisoner and the true heir to this kingdom." Everyone froze in fear. Morgara approached the princes, raised her black magic wand, and with a terrible glow the 7 princes, who stood with their sisters, they fell to the ground in shining diamonds. The princesses trembled. The king watched helplessly. The witch put those diamonds in a magic bag. Deep laughter ripped through the air, laughing, and in the blink of an eye, she disappeared into the darkness. After Morgara left, Neuralia seemed to be plunged into darkness. The empire was in ruins, the palace had become a place of mourning, and King Solomon, he could not bear the grief of separation from his princes. One morning he fell to the ground and was never able to stand on his feet again. There was always one question alive in his eyes: will my sons ever come back? Time passed, years turned into decades, but there was no news of the princes. The 7 princesses have grown young, but the same sadness remains on their faces. The same sorrow of separation had settled. Whenever she walked through the deserted corridors of the palace, they could hear the echoes of their brothers' laughter. Even Queen Saraya's heart could not dry up with time. Every night she would go to the highest tower of the palace and look up at the sky, and she kept praying for her lost children. But these princesses had a secret that only a few wise people in the palace knew. Each princess had a unique magical power, and these powers were part of their being. Norbin, Princess of Light, his touch would tear through the darkness and expose the truth. Elena, Princess of Fire, who could shoot flames from her palm. Cyril, Heir of the Wind, which controlled sea breezes and storm waves. Tiara, Heir of the Earth, who touched dead flowers and brought them back to life. Alan, Prince of Time, which could slow down the passing moments. And Morena, the Princess of Dreams and Shadows, looking into whose eyes a person would be confronted with their own fear. The second surprise was that the princesses and princes were twins, and half of each power was with the sister and half with the brother. These powers had become incomplete with the disappearance of the princes, but they were still dangerously powerful. One day, the eldest princess, Norbin, went to the queen. He asked softly, "Mom, where did brother go? Why did the king fall ill?" The queen broke her years of silence and told everything: the king's cruelty, the witch's revenge, the kidnapping of princes, and that cruel moment when they were all turned into diamonds. Hearing this, something woke up inside Norbin. She stood up, wiping away her tears, and said, "We are not just daughters, we are the incomplete existence of our brothers. If they have become diamonds, we will bring them back." Her words struck the hearts of the other sisters like lightning. Everyone bowed their heads together and agreed. The queen said in a trembling voice, "Morgara's lair is in the northern forest, but to get there, you have to cross a magical door, which only opens to pure-hearted people." The next morning the 7 princesses came out. "With the help of your own powers, in the name of love for our brothers." The path was not easy. The northern forest was full of darkness. Sometimes the shadows of trees would take the form of animals. Sometimes the earth would crack and hot lava would come out. But the princesses became each other's shields. Norbin lights the way. Cyril would blow up obstacles with sharp blows. Morena would see the path to the witch's lair there in her dreams, and the rest of the sisters went on to overcome every danger together. Finally they reached a place where black smoke was rising from the ground. That was Morgara's hut, a place that seemed to be connected to hatred and magic. The door was made of black stones, which flared up as soon as the light hit it. The princesses stood in a circle. They combined their energy. As soon as the magic lifted, a golden line shone on the door. Then slowly he began to melt. They were shocked when they entered. A large cauldron was burning in the middle, above which 7 chains were hanging, and tied by these chains, those shining diamonds were there, who were his twin brothers. Norbin stepped forward. As soon as he touched the diamond, the earth shook, smoke rose, and a terrible scream rang out. "Who touched my treasure?" Morgara appeared, eyes as red as flames, and the same black magic wand in his hand. "So you all made it this far, but you can never take your brothers. These diamonds will break before your eyes." She started moving towards the chains, but Norbin threw his light. Morgara was momentarily blinded. At that moment the other sisters attacked. Elena melted the chains with fire. Cyril pushed the witch back with the wind. Tiara shook the earth. Morena filled the witch's mind with fear, and Ellen slowed down the entire moment so the sisters could save the brothers. Morgara staggered. My foot slipped and fell into the burning cauldron with a thud. With that, the magic inside the hut began to break. Suddenly, a loud explosion echoed inside the hut. The radiant light spread everywhere, and those 7 diamonds, who had been imprisoned in magic for years, slowly, they began to glow like heartbeats. The princesses ran to their brothers. As soon as they touched the diamonds, the light exploded and scattered, and standing before them were their real twin brothers, alive, breathing, shocked but safe. Tears, laughter, and joy poured out all at once. Everyone hugged each other, and they all returned to the palace together. When Queen Soraya sees her children entering the door, so his scream turns into helpless joy. She hugs everyone to her chest, as if he had drunk years of loneliness in one breath. In this commotion, King Solomon also tries to get up from his bed. As soon as his eyes fall on his children, moisture wells up in his eyes. He says in a weak voice, "I have been unfair to all of you. If possible, please forgive me. Not my kingdom. You are my true heirs." Norbin moves forward. His face is soft and confident. She says, "Love is the magic that never breaks. This is the light that dispels all darkness." As soon as these words hit the palace walls, the spell that has been cast on Neuralia for years begins to break. The shadows fade. The sun rises in full brightness for the first time. The flowers are blooming, and the entire empire is bathed in a new dawn. 7 princesses and 7 princes, which were once incomplete, now they stood together like one complete light, one family, one power, one magic. Thus the story reaches its end, but the light of Neuralia still shines today. Remember this hope, that the light of love never goes out.